It's Jesus! Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 8 of Anne's home renovation series, yeah!
Bracky.
And in the last episode, I think we got loads done. It was a very eventful episode. Got an insane amount done actually, way more than I thought. So I was thinking for this episode, I wouldn't really get much done, but I've been busy. Oh my god, I've never stopped. Seriously, never stopped. And I've basically been trying to work on some of the areas that really need that like fundamental DIY. I'm talking dusty shit, dirty crap, stuff that I've been putting off. And that was basically isolated to upstairs. I feel like we've spent a lot of time down here and not a lot of time upstairs. Take a little seat in my camping chair. Oh, look at that. Mural, gorgeous. Oh, also, I forgot to even, before we get into story time, I'll just show you this. Some things that have happened. So, if we look in the kitchen, look what Anne's had delivered. Oh, what's that? I can't use my bloody... What is this? Okay, well, my little thingy, what's happened? You know what, I was getting the hang of using this stupid tripod thing, and now it's just like, no, don't do anything. Go up and down. It just wants to go left and right for some reason. Anyway, can you see that? I've got a washing machine now. The washing machine got delivered and installed. How gorgeous is that? It's feeling like a kitchen now. I was really panicked because although I'd measured this kind of space up for the washing machine, I still wasn't 100% sure it was going to fit. So I was like really nervous when they came to deliver it. But it fit perfectly. I've even got like a slither of room at the top. In fact, it was a perfect fit. I think it's nice it goes with the kitchen. I like the black accents. I just wish the knob was bronze because it's chrome. Why is everything chrome for? But other than that, I'm happy with it. Who knew being an adult would be getting excited about a washing machine? Really excited about a washing machine. It's got Wi-Fi. I can watch Netflix on it and everything. Obviously I'm joking, I can't watch Netflix on it. And also I don't understand why you need a washing machine that has Wi-Fi. Like, what's the point? Well, I suppose it's to set it away by your phone or something. But I feel like people are just adding like Wi-Fi and AI to shit just to like make it more fancy, and it doesn't really need it, does it? But anyway, I'll tell you what I've been up to since you last saw us. So I hope everyone's seated for this, because this is just gonna knock you off your feet if you aren't seated. So this is your warning. This is your pre-warning now. Take a seat, because this news is going to literally blow your socks off. So for this exciting news, I was working away upstairs in one of the bedrooms, and I finally removed the last piece of wallpaper from the house. Yeah, fuck no. Oh my god, that's taken me a million years to take this wallpaper off. I've done it. You didn't beat us, I beat you. You evil room. Ah, you little bastard. Honestly, I think I was a bit delirious at this point. Like, the wallpaper, it's been my number one enemy. It really has, and the fact that I've beat it. I say I've beat it.
Here we go.
I haven't really, because there are some areas in the house that there's still wallpaper, believe it or not. One of the areas, I literally just can't get to it. In fact, I'll show you it. I'll show you exactly where it is. It's on the landing, and I don't know how they managed to wallpaper there. It is literally kind of in here. I don't know whether you're going to even be able to see. It's literally down in there. In amongst the stairs. I honestly don't know how they managed to wallpaper there. I feel like they wallpapered. I don't know, I feel like they wallpapered before they did anything. I think they wallpapered before they even put the walls in. And I don't know how that's possible, but I think they managed. There's also another bit of wallpaper in the bedroom, and that's just me being lazy because I just genuinely couldn't be asked to get rid of it. I'm just going to paint over it. It's in one of the cupboards.
Obviously.
And unfortunately, after removing the wallpaper in this back bedroom, it revealed a very green substance all over the walls, which weirdly rubbed off at the same time too. So me thinking that it might have been some kind of mold or something, I decided to get some mold spray and give it a good spray and a good scrub and try and get this kind of green moldy shit off the walls. And although I did that, and I did some like little patches and stuff, I didn't really continue because I wasn't 100% convinced that this was mold. And the reason I don't think this was mold is because it's basically over every single wall but not on the ceiling. And also the room doesn't doesn't particularly smell damp, it doesn't smell like earthy or kind of moldy or anything. So I have a feeling it's either some sort of like wallpaper paste residue or it's some sort of paint or something like that. I'm 99% sure it's not mold. I could obviously still be wrong, but I don't know, it wasn't giving us moldy vibes. I'll find out in a few years time if it grows back on the walls once I've painted, but I think I'll be okay. And then the next day I basically tidied up a bit, got rid of the last of the wallpaper shavings. I also filled some gaps around the windows, and I also tackled some of the larger cracks in one of the bedrooms because this bedroom was cracked to bits. The cracks in this room alone were shocking. There were so many. So if you want a little bit of a tutorial on how to fill cracks, this is it. You're welcome. Especially from your favourite DIYer Ant. And basically all I did for the larger cracks is I widened them first, so I made the cracks bigger, which seems a bit redundant, but apparently that's what you're supposed to do. I then made sure they were all dust free and gave them a good seal just to make sure, I don't know, it's not all like crumbly and dusty and stuff. Once the seal is dry, you basically just want to fill the gaps. So I just use a regular plaster filler crack kit thing that's already pre-mixed and just kind of shove that into the gap and try and make it as smooth as possible. And then for some of the larger cracks on the walls and mainly the ceiling was really bad, I just added some scrim tape just to add some extra support and to prevent the crack from coming back in the future. And after I was finally done addressing all these cracks in this room, it was looking a little bit like this. It's quite patched up, but I was quite proud of it. I think I've done a pretty decent job. Unfortunately, the landing as well also revealed lots of cracks when I'd taken the wallpaper off and stuff. So I basically did exactly the same with the landing, especially the ceiling and the walls. It did mean though I had to risk my life up a big set of ladders, hovering over the stairs, hoping I wouldn't fall to my death. Didn't die, it's fine. And I'm pretty sure on that same day when I was down to earth again, I decided to paint the kitchen window in a black UPVC paint, just like I did in the living room. This might have also been a new day, but I also patched the landing some more, especially where the ceiling meets the walls, because again, this ceiling on the landing, it has the same issue I had with the kitchen where it feels kind of floaty. It doesn't really feel attached to anything. And there's a big crack going all the way around the edge. So I was just trying to address that, fix it, make it look a little bit better. Hope the ceiling doesn't cave in on itself. It's a little bit scary up there, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't fallen off yet. But, well, I say yet, I hope I never fall off because it's a long way down and I don't I think I would die or really hurt myself, so no thanks. And once I'd done with all the filling of the cracks upstairs and stuff, it was my absolute least favourite part, and it was to sand everything down. And this took absolutely ages, and it was so messy. It felt like it took the house back to day one. The dust was unreal. And I also did this with a raging cold. I'd avoided getting a cold all of winter, but spring hit and Ant decided to get poorly. But I wasn't letting it stop us, not this time round. After I'd finished sanding, I attempted to clean things up a little bit because the place was an absolute shithole, and just get rid of as much dust as possible. Then also sealed the ceiling, ready to be plastered at some point, and it was also finally time to prime the walls in one of the bedrooms. A few days later, while still full of cold, I decided to plaster the ceiling on the landing to hide all the lumpy nipples, which I can't stand. And I also primed the other two bedrooms. Some more days later passed and it was time to sand the ceiling down on the landing. And also the funny thing is, right, I've been like plastering and doing this bits and bobs and stuff. One thing I've realised, which should be obvious at this point, you learn and things get better.
You're shitting me!
So I'm going to show you my ceiling dig quick. It's honestly, even though I felt like shit doing it and I felt so poorly, it's the best bit of plastering I've literally done in the entire house. It's still not perfect, it's not fantastic because honestly I couldn't be arsed and it was really hard to get to, but it is looking like really good. Hang on a second. I'm not going to be able to move you, am I? This stupid tripod thing, gimbal, whatever it's called, is having a day. Look up. I don't get it. Why won't you? That goes left, right. I tell you what, I think I've put the camera on the wrong way. Give me 1 second. Let me figure this out. I don't know what this gimbal's doing. Honestly, it's had my life today. But if we look, that ceiling doesn't look too bad. I did run out of plaster along there, so I used a different kind of filler and stuff. But I don't know. I don't think I've done too bad of a job at all. I actually think it's the best bit of plastering I've done. Pretty good, eh? Now it doesn't want to go down. The gimbal's asleep today. I don't know why is that thing in the I don't know what's going on, honestly. Anyway, what else have I been up to? I don't think I've done a lot actually. Did all the sanding, blah blah blah. Oh, and I also took the skirting boards off one of the bedrooms and the landing because I'm going to be fitting a new flooring to obviously that bedroom and the landing at some point. So I needed the skirting boards to come off. I'm just going to keep the original skirting boards on the other two bedrooms because I'm going to get carpet fitted in there and I can't be arsed with pissing around with more skirting boards if I'm totally honest with you. And then finally yesterday I spent hours and hours with my favourite activity, which is obviously caulking, and I just use that to fix and fill any gaps and imperfections. Obviously I didn't record all of that because it's not particularly entertaining to watch. However, it's very entertaining to do. Caulking, I've learned from this entire series, is one of my favourite activities. Love a bit of caulking. And that basically brings us up to today. And what I'm planning on doing today is if we have a little look at the state of the place, if my gimbal will decide to work. I don't want to go that way. Are you going to go down? You'll go up now, but you won't go down, which I find strange. You're going to do this weird shit again. Alright, Still can't figure out my gimbal. It's literally just got a mind of its own today. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh dear. It seems to be getting worse, doesn't it?
Yes.
Thing is, during this entire series, I've never once had an arse on with this gimbal, and I think I've used it quite well. And now all of a sudden it's decided to be an absolute knob. What's changed? Oh, that's how I move up and down. I was pressing the wrong button. Honestly, I'm a proper lemon, me. Okay, so just literally ignore me fighting with my gimbal. Wait there, try and get me straight. I know that's quite difficult. Anyway.
Okay, that was homophobic.
But if we look, oh, Ant's got a mattress somewhere to stay. So things are starting to take shape. Obviously, I'm planning on moving in very, very shortly. Some boxes have arrived and stuff. Basically, I'm hoping to be moved in next week. But in fact, it's not I'm hoping to be moved in next week. I will be moved in next week because there's things that are kind of planned and stuff and they just align with life. I literally can't get out of it, so I'm going to be moving in next week. That is the deadline. So today's episode is all about adding little bits. So I've got curtains to go and I've got some like kitcheny things, so that'll be fun. I think we'll start off with kitcheny things, why not? Microwave, obviously.
Microwave.
I think that's a very important thing for a kitchen, isn't it? I don't have a cooker yet, and I will eventually get a cooker, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. I feel like a lot of things I'm doing out of order, and also I feel like when I wanted to move into this place, I wanted basically everything done and move in and be like, oh, fun and stuff. That's not the reality. Like, I'm going to be moving in and things are going to be a mess still and a lot of things are going to still need doing. But, you know, it is what it is. Weirdly, this has been going on for basically like 6 months now, this renovation, or coming up 6 months. And I'm a routine driven person. I love a routine. I haven't had a routine for 6 months and I don't know how I've kept it together. I don't know how I'm still sane. Because to take a routine away from someone who loves a routine, it's very, very, like, you just can't comprehend. People who love a routine will understand. People who don't won't have a clue. But honestly, I don't know how I've not managed to implode. Fortunately, I haven't had a mental breakdown. Well, maybe I have, I don't know. And we'll open this microwave, see what this is like. I feel like I have to go all influencer and be like, ah, this is by whatever company and here's a link and stuff. I don't have a link and it's by Russell Hobbs if you like this microwave. I bought it on Amazon. Weirdly enough, the digital version of this, which obviously has like digital screens and stuff, I think it was about like £20 or £30 more. Whereas the manual one with dials, it was like £20 or £30 obviously cheaper. And I was like, well, I'll just go for the manual one, I'll go for the cheaper one. I actually kind of like a manual one. Don't know, take it back to like the 50s when, I don't know, well, would we really want to go back to the 50s? The thing is, people always say, like, wouldn't it be nice to go back to thingy and how it was back in the day and stuff? Let's all go back to the Victorian times and shit in a bucket and chuck it out in the street. And piss off. People are just really irritating sometimes. I understand that like it might have been a simpler time back in the day and stuff, but also there was like a lot of shit things that went on, so I don't think it's really great to be like, oh, I think we should go back to the time when women had no rights. You know what I mean? Oh, that went a bit spicy, didn't it? I didn't mean to. Just people bother us a lot. Ah! Oh, the bastard are cut. Oh, you little Yeah, I got myself good there. I felt that one. That went deep. You little bitch. If you look at us, honestly, I'm covered in like marks and stuff. I fell up the stairs in this house the other day and I was holding my camera and obviously I didn't want my camera to hit the floor. So I like cradled it like a child and I took the brunt of the impact. That's what happens when I get too kind of irate. I end up slicing into my finger. Yay! Oh, I think this is nice. I didn't want it to be like matchy-matchy. I know obviously it's a different blue to the kitchen cabinets, but I still wanted it to be within theme. And I've got a few other things that aren't exactly the same colour because I find when it's like too matchy-matchy, I don't know, it looks a bit, I don't know, weird to me. Oh, that's nice that. I like the wood effect. I feel like a proper house. I haven't got anything to cook yet, or like warm up, but oh my god, so many beans will go in there. And here's some more things. So I bought a kettle. Obviously I do have a kettle already in the house, but this was like a builder kettle. So this kettle was essentially the kettle that was gonna get ruined. It was the cheapest kettle I could find. I know it was gonna get paint and plaster and dusty and horrible and stuff. This was just to see me through the renovation, and it has done. It's been very, very delightful. Thank you. You've been a lovely, lovely addition to this house renovation. That's a top tip, by the way, if you are going to renovate a house. Get yourself just a shitter of a kettle that you don't mind, like using it as a backup or like putting it away or whatever, or recycling it or something, because you don't want your nice kettle. Same goes for Hoover. These are a few tips for you. If you're doing a home renovation, don't use your good Hoover. You need to buy yourself like a proper industrial Hoover. I bought one. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was about 50-60 quid, and it's been an absolute dream. If I'd used my little cordless vacuum, it would have broken. I know it would have. So yeah, invest in just like little things just to make you through, because I didn't want to put my nice kettle out and then it get paint on it and everything. Absolutely not. So I bought this one. It's by DeLonghi. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Again, I'm not sponsored by any of this at all, but I thought this would look quite nice in the kitchen. Oh, these are the things that excite us. It's a very small kettle. I was expecting it to be a bit bigger. When I bought a lot of these things and stuff, because I've had these things for quite a while, I bought them like in the sale, and like Black Friday was amazing. I got so many deals. That's canny, isn't it? Oh, gorgeous kettle. Let's put the top on you. Oh, here's my kettle for my house. Also, if you're wondering about my kitchen, because people might be, and I'm really embarrassed about it, but I put like a filler along here to hide the gap, and I did a really, really bad job of it. It looks really shit, like shockingly bad. At some point, I'm gonna sand that filler off when I can be bothered, and I'm gonna put like a nice, neat little bit of like silicone, like brown silicone in there for tabletops and stuff. So just literally ignore that in case anyone's commented on it. That can just stay there. Oh, doesn't that look nice? Oh, yes, feels like a kitchen. And then I also bought a toaster to go with it. Not that I'm a particularly toasty person. In fact, I very rarely eat toast. I can't remember the last time I had a slice of toast, which I don't know why I bought a toaster for if I don't eat toast very often, but I felt like you needed to have a toaster. I don't know why. And I might leave it out on the counter and really get into toast. However, if I don't, it's just gonna go into a drawer and I'll get it out when I need to. They're just little crumb catchers, aren't they? Ah, doesn't that look nice? We've got kettle, toaster, and microwave. I know this isn't very exciting to anyone, but this is very, very exciting to me. Look at that. Appliances. Alright, one job done. That was a very easy job, actually. I think I'll try and put some blinds up, which I'm a bit worried about because I don't think I'll be very good at it, but I think I'll try. I've gone for blinds to go. Again, not sponsored. In the, are they called Venetian? A Venetian blind in oak with like black strappy bits. I thought they would be quite nice. And online, they look really easy to install. Whether that's actually true, I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be difficult. I've obviously never installed blinds before, so we'll see what happens. On their website and stuff, it does say like these are DIY blinds to do yourself and blah blah blah, so we'll see if it lives up to that. I just really hope I've actually measured properly, because you know what I'm like, I'm terrible at measuring. Okay, these are a bit lighter than what they look like in the picture, but that's fine. Let me just double check that they're gonna fit. Okay, well they should fit. Right, there are no instructions, so maybe I have to go online for them. Right, I shall have a quick Google on how this works, then hopefully the blind idea will be a bit clearer, won't it? Okay, so I've downloaded the instructions, and one thing I've realised about obviously installing blinds is that I'm gonna have to measure stuff, aren't I, and make sure it's like all straight and even and right, and they're my least favourite things to do on planet Earth. Anyway, they come with these little brackety things, these things here, and I basically want to install one on that side and one on the other side, and that's going to kind of hold the top of the blind in place. So, how far away does this handle poke out? 6 centimetres. I probably just want these to go about 7 centimetres away from the frame. I think a bit more than 7. And about 10. This recess is quite large. At the end of the day, if I go wrong, then it just means I have to take them back down and refill more holes and paint over things again. 8 centimetres in, and you want to bring it all the way to about here, I reckon. Put your pen up there and give it a mark. Wouldn't it be a miracle if these were straight?
Yes.
And then we basically do the same thing again. Drill a hole at each mark, then use the screws and wall plugs provided. Okay, to secure the brackets. Oh, I've just realised you're not even pointed at it, sorry. I'm over on the other side now. Am I going to be like the previous owner and not figure out where the blinds and curtains are going to be, and these windows just be peppered with like bits of wood and wall plugs and all sorts? We'll soon find out, won't we? Right, now we pop the wall plugs in. Hopefully I've done the hole deep enough. I'm very cautious not to ruin my paintwork. It took me a very long time to do this. I feel like the holes need to be a little bit bigger. Not necessarily bigger, just deeper. I don't know deep enough. Pop, 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 pop. And then we're taking the bracket and screwing it in place. And I like how they've made holes in the bottom so you can actually get your screwdriver through the bracket. I think it would be my luck, right, to get this done, put my blind up, and then like halfway through the day it just falls down. It honestly wouldn't surprise us one bit. There we go. Oh, perfect. Eee, look at me. Bracket installed, well done. Okay, that wasn't that hard. Right, I just need to do the other side, but I'm gonna have some lunch because I'm hungry and I'm stressed. So I'm back from lunch and my little fixtures and brackets and stuff are in place. One thing I didn't realise is I installed them incorrectly the first time round.
You fucking idiot, Rosalie!
So they might look a little bit different now. They actually go that way and not that way. And I've also installed the supporting ones. And do I want to say it was hard? I do. I want to say it was hard. Mainly because either my drill is shit or the walls are really hard and I just really struggled to get through them. It was really, really impossibly hard. And then I measured wrong and everything and it's been one of them days. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not.
I understand why people pay other people and companies to just like do the blinds for them because it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. But anyway, now I need to attach these things, I think, pelmet clips. Right, hook these onto the front of the blind's headrail, regardless of which type, blah, blah, blah. Space the clips out evenly along the headrail. Okay, I don't even know what these are for. Just space them out evenly, apparently. Raise the blind and slot it into the open face of the brackets. Close the hinge section, snap them shut. Right, it's a moment of truth. Will the blinds fit into the bracket I've installed? I am shitting my kegs, I am not going to lie, because I have a funny feeling it's not going to fit, it's all going to be wrong, and I'm going to have wasted hours of my day. I just have a funny feeling, because I've had to measure and everything, and I'm really, really crap at it, I know I am. And I felt like I guessed half of it, because I was getting chewed. No, they don't. They don't fit at all. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. These two end brackets, they don't fit. I thought I would have a little bit more leeway, but I don't. Right, let me try for the second time, or even actually probably the fourth time now, to get these brackets correct. Right, I'm really sorry I didn't record that, but I've been in like a bit of a panic spiral and I've been close to tears and it's been stressing us out a lot. But look, I got it up. Never ever look up there and look at the state of the ceiling and the walls and everything. I am going to have to do so much fixing at a later date. And that bracket is held up by one screw. Because quite frankly, that bracket can go eat shit.
We're losing him.
Because everything's in the corners, I don't know what these stupid walls are made out of. I just can't drill. I'm getting very irate and angry and I can only apologise. But it's not because of my competency. It's because I can't physically get through it. I know what I need to do and I know I would be able to do it if things would let me do what I want to do. It goes back to the horrible matte paint that I chose for all the stupid walls. I've rubbed my hands and pretty much my face all over the walls and they're an absolute mess. I've hit them with a hammer, a mallet, a screwdriver.
Bitch!
And the reason I'm so angry is because it's taken me so long to do this and I feel like I've just ruined it. I feel like a parent, oh my god. You know when your mum and your dad gets mad at you because you've like ruined a bit of furniture, ruined a wall or something? That's what it feels like. Oh my god, I understand parents. I totally understand parents. Kids are shit. Oh my god, weren't we shit? We were such evil little shits. We didn't respect anything, did we? I feel like I just need to cry. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing, I'm just pissing around and trying to make things work. I'll change the angle just in case it's exciting, but I don't think anything's exciting about this. I'm basically putting little clippy things on the back of this pelmet, which I'm honestly sick of saying pelmet now, and attaching them to that. What's happened to that one? Alright, that's fine. And attaching them to these little things. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah, you can totally tell how uneven my walls are and everything because of that blind. It's got like a proper ripple effect. But I've got my pelmet up. Oh my god, I've done a pelmet. Oh. I really feel like I'm gonna pull my blinds down. I have no idea how these work. Okay, I finally figured it out, and it's because my dodgy bracket skill up there, it hasn't got the strength to kind of support it. So in order to close my blinds and open them, I have to go up here, hold on to this, and then lower them. There we go. Ta-da! Blinds! I think they look alright, don't they? They look proper good. I'm definitely going to have to reassess that situation when I've got the energy and the motivation to do so, because that's not right at all. At least I've had practice, so now I know how to do them. It'll be much easier when I do the next slot. Alright, well, it's curtain time, and curtains should be a lot easier than the blinds. I hope so. Swear to God, if curtains are harder than the blinds, definitely going to have a mental breakdown. Okay, curtain rod time. Oh, it's a big one. It's a massive one. Wink. I bought these a while ago because I got a voucher code sent through. So I was like, oh, I've got to make most of these discounts and vouchers. And I haven't even opened it to see what it actually looks like. They could have sent me anything. It was months ago when I ordered these. But it should be a brass effect double curtain rod. And I'll tell you why I bought a double one in a second. And I just think this will look a bit nice, won't it? Oh yes, they're very extendable too, I forgot to mention. Ooh. Oh, one thing I didn't realise is they were actually going to be like two individual poles. I for some reason thought that they were going to be connected, but they're not. They're like both separate. Okay. Please don't be hard to install. So if you look, it's got like this little double kind of bit here for one rail and another rail, and then one rail ends just like that, and then another one in like a very traditional kind of knob. Right, I think I know how to do this. You just literally install a bracket in the middle and then a bracket on either side. I suppose you have to measure things, don't you? I hate measuring, honestly. It's my least favourite thing. The reason I don't like measuring, just before anyone says anything, is because even if I do measure, I still somehow do it wrong, and I don't know why. So I'm going to install... Oh, there's a cat in my garden. Look, there it goes. Did you see it? That's the second cat that hangs around in my garden. There's another one and it's black and white and I don't know who they belong to. I'm not really a cat person, but obviously they kind of enjoy chilling in my garden, so I'm not going to stop them. So you basically install this first, and then this is going to go, so it's going to go like that. Oh, isn't that nice? So they've got like a little Allen key bit here, and then you can just kind of unscrew them, I think. This screws off. This is your back plate, and you're going to use that to mark on where you want it. Attach that to the wall, and then that I'll just screw on over the top. Oh, that's easy. It's dead easy. Okay, so I've had a few issues yet again, I know. Surprise, surprise. And I have managed to get basically the brackety bit on the top. However, the centre one, and actually to be fair, the other two I managed to get a screw in each, and then I've used glue. And then that middle one is literally just glue. Because around my windows, I'm assuming it's either metal, there's some sort of like metal girder or something that I can't drill through, or it's like granite or diamond or just some sort of impenetrable material that I physically can't drill through. I've tried all kinds of drill bits and nothing's working, so I've just resorted to glue. And unfortunately, the glue's going to take about 24 hours to fully cure, and I don't want to attach the actual thing onto the middle one because I think it's just going to pull it all the way down and it'll fall off and I'm back to square one. So we'll finish the curtains tomorrow, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my tea because it's the evening now, and I really wanted to paint the bedrooms today because I really want to get a head start on that, even though I know for a fact as soon as I start I'm going to be here literally, it's going to be early hours of the morning. I know it is. Yes, we're going to paint my bedroom Commodore Blue, I think it's called. If you remember that episode I did when I swatched the paint, this is that paint colour. And I think that's really nice. I'm just hoping it's like the terracotta and it's going to be quite full coverage. I would absolutely love for that to be the case. I don't think it's going to be, but it would be nice. Also, I forgot to mention too, up there in that cupboard is where I've left some of the old wallpaper because I couldn't be asked to get rid of it. But also, look what's been hiding in my bedroom this entire time. It's Jesus!
It's a statue of little baby Jesus.
He's only got one hand though, I don't know what happened to the other one. But it's a little Jesus candle thing, so Jesus has been looking over the property. Not that I'm a religious person, but still. And I do remember when I was viewing the property, obviously the couple that lived here previously, they must have been religious because there were crosses on the walls and all sorts. But yeah, they left me a little Jesus. He's broken though. I might give it to my mum. My mum loves Jesus. I'm not too bothered about Jesus. But he can go up there for now, we'll keep him. Right, let's get some colour on the walls, my favourite thing in the world. So many hours later, we have a blue room. Obviously it needs another coat, it absolutely does. And yes, again, I've done the colour drenching thing because I'm kind of into it, okay? I just love colour. Honestly, it's really exciting to see this room with some colour. I just feel like it's just great. I just enjoy colour so much. It's also getting quite late. It's 10:30. I've been here since, what, 9 this morning? And I'm back here tomorrow. That's fine. It's okay. I'm fine.
I'm not.
But anyway, you might notice over here, what's happened there? You've missed a bit, and you've missed an entire wall. There's no blue there. It's because I have a plan for it, don't worry. I'm not going to paint that blue. I'm going to be doing something different with that wall, but you'll just have to wait and find out. Originally, I planned on doing this room and the other 2 bedrooms, but like, no, can't be bothered. I'm too tired. The idea for this morning was to obviously put these curtains and blinds up and stuff, and it'd be fun and exciting. I've had an absolute nightmare of a morning, I'm not gonna lie. It's just been incredibly stressful. I've had like a million things to do. What I was planning on doing this morning, I haven't brought my lunch or anything, and it's literally lunchtime, so I'm getting a bit hangry and really irritated. But basically, behind the camera, I've set up the exact same curtains I was gonna put up here, and I've had a horrible time with them. The curtain rod fell down, all the curtains fell down. It's been a disaster. I've somehow managed to get these curtains up, and I don't know how I've managed to get them up, and I have a strong feeling when I come back to the property they're not going to be up, they're going to be on the floor. So I'll show you my curtains, and these curtains I'll just have to wait because I honestly don't have the time. If you're wondering why I'm so stressed and like chewed and stuff, it's because I'm moving and renovating and I'm making content and I'm going to work. I've booked no time off work at all because I've got no annual leave left. I'm just a tiny, you know what, I'm just a very slither bit stressed. And also I decided today was the day I was going to give up vaping and quit vaping. Fantastic day to do that, wasn't it? Well done me. But anyway, are you ready to see my curtains? Ta-da! look at these! What I like, and this is the reason I got the double curtain rod, is I wanted this kind of, I think it's called like a voile or something, so it's like basically a net curtain. And it's just more of like a sheer kind of thing, and I like the layering. Isn't that nice? Ah, isn't that lovely? I don't want to move them too much, I'm scared of my curtains now, because I feel like they'll just all fall down. But isn't that nice? And the reason I'm wanting to get all my curtains up and stuff is because I need to sleep in this room when I do move in, because obviously the bedrooms aren't ready yet. So this is literally going to be my bedroom, and I'm just gonna have to live in just stuff for now. I am chewed. Oh my god, just even thinking about it stressing us out. I did buy some more drill bits at the store this morning before I came over, and they have come in handy because I did manage to get a screw in that middle one. The reason they fell down is the glue just didn't do what it was supposed to do, and the middle one fell off, bringing the curtains with it. When I come back at some point, I'm gonna have to address that and not just use glue and try and get a screw in. But anyway, I need to edit this video and I've got a million things to do. So I'm gonna call chapter 8 here, and I'll see you next week. And I think next week I might potentially be installing the studio, but also I could be doing something else. I honestly have no idea anymore. I hope I'm not coming across as like a proper like Debbie Downer or anything like that, but seriously, this entire process, not necessarily like the beginning part of the renovation stuff, yeah, it's been stressful, but this specific part of the renovation where I'm trying to move, I've got life happening, and like I don't know where I am. This is the time where I feel like you need help and you need people to help you and stuff, which I obviously don't want people to help, but also what I would like people not to do is like rushes. I'm starting to feel rushed at the moment, and that's bothering us because I'm rushing myself, other people are rushing us, and then I end up making mistakes, and I think that's what's happened with the curtains. But it's okay, we will get there, we will survive. I think Diana Ross said that, didn't she? So I'll see you next week for whatever shenanigans we get up to. Oh, if you're enjoying it so far, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I completely forgot to say that, didn't I? And yeah, I'll see you soon, hopefully. Hopefully, I may be having a nervous breakdown. Is this what a nervous breakdown sounds like? It feels like a nervous breakdown. I think I'm having a nervous breakdown, everyone. I'm going to escape while my brain's intact.